AskReddit by Kenapaka662. What is a red flag to watch out for in a guy who wants a relationship with you? If he tries to pull you further away from friends and family. Joke's on him, I don't have any. I'm what they call easy pickings for predators abusers. Then they realize I'm more fucked up than they are and get scared. Most grown women come to realize this. If a guy is nice to you but mean to everyone else, it's not that he thinks you're special. He's just an asshole that's capable of pretending not to be an asshole. What if he's mean to you and nice to everyone else? When you're the only one towards whom he shows a shred of decency. The actor who played Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer once spoke about how disturbed he was by the multitude of young adolescent girls infatuated with his character. He said something like, "I get it. I get the appeal of the bad boy, but what you have to understand is that if he's an asshole to everyone except you, it doesn't mean you're special, it just means your turn is coming." For some reason that always stuck with me. He tries to stop you from spending time with your friends, or when you're with your friends he is constantly messaging you to find out where you are and who you're with. Literally my emotionally abusive ex-husband. If he gets really upset that your 15-year-old daughter won't use the thong bikini he bought her while on vacation in Brazil for her. Are oddly specific. As a guy, I would say don't look for red flags, look for an absence of green flags. Kind of a if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If you are looking for the downside in an imperfect person, you'll find something every time. If you look for the good and can't find anything, that's the biggest, brightest red flag there could be. I love this. I feel like if you scroll through these comments, you will eventually find a red flag that applies to your partner. Disclaimer that yes, obviously one should be wary of someone who is abusive, has addiction issues etc. Constantly talks about himself, ignores your feelings. Honestly, I kind of do this. In my case it's not exactly me being self-centered. It's more that I get a bit nervous and just can't shut up once I get going. It's been the hardest thing for me to learn to ask questions and actively listen. If he co-sleeps with his dog that pisses in the bed all the time, that would be a red flag for me. Oddly enough, this is the second comment I've seen within the past hour about sleeping in the same bed as your dog who pisses in it being a red flag. Reddit's trying to tell me something and I don't know if I should be concerned. The way he talks about his exes, red flag if all of them are crazy. Yep, that's definitely a legit red flag. He wants you to be part of what seems like a pyramid scheme. He says it's not, but you're pretty sure it is, even after he explained it to you as a sure thing to become rich quickly. I've explained this 100 times, Kathy. It's not a pyramid scheme. I want to open a pyramid construction company, totally different things. Notice how he handles disagreement or conflict. If he resorts to yelling, name-calling, or belittling instead of constructive communication, it's a clear indicator of how he deals with challenges, a red flag for future conflicts. The best advice I can give you is if you wanna know who the man is, look at his friends. Joke's on you, I don't even have friends. This did not happen to me, but I saw a news story about it several weeks ago. One of the latest scams is fake dating profiles get created, you match, conversations seem completely normal and legit. One day they start talking cryptocurrency and show you an app they've been using. Long story short, if you fall for it, you can be completely wiped out financially. These scumbags are getting craftier and playing the long game. Edit. Now that I'm more caffeinated this morning, the name of the scam is Pig Butchering Slaughtering and John Oliver covered it. You can watch the full report here. https://yahoo.be/plppl2isktg?siwfbv7 ajolu uxvmn closed bracket dart. If you're anyone you know is in the online dating world, Send this to them so they know what to look for. Lol, yeah, I can attest to that. I tried dating apps 2 years ago and like 90% of my matches kept steering the conversation to finances and crypto. They were actually real people but were trying to scam me. I remember most of them were Chinese. If he seems to be very pushy or doesn't seem to know the meaning of the words no or stop, even for little things, it is a red flag. If he won't even respect your boundaries for minor things, then it is a surefire sign that he will cross major boundaries later on. If they have a disdain for safe sex, don't be silly, wrap your willy. Is it a red flag when women do too? I dated this girl and she never listened to me when I told her my dick wasn't going anywhere near her without a condom. For kids not disease purposes, I'd have to throw her off of me when she was on top BC. She'd try to sneak it in while making out. Too intense too soon. Love bombing is straight up manipulative. If he's in prison for killing his ex-wife. Not that he killed someone. Just that he got caught. I can't have no sloppy murders in my house. Some say having a lot of female friends. I'd argue the opposite. If he has no platonic connections to any women, I'd be worried. If he gets upset when you say no to things. If he doesn't ever admit to being wrong. If he throws or hits things when he is angry. Depends on his and their behavior around each other. Testing boundaries to see your reaction and apologizing or saying it was a joke if you have pushback. I call it boundary fishing. They try to see how far you will go on a subject, and if you show weakness, exploit you for everything they can. This is a huge one. They're used to emotionally abusing people if they do that. Narcissism 101. People who say they're living with their ex to help them with stuff they're still together and he's lying. What's a red flag to watch for in a guy who wants a relationship with me? The fact that he wants a relationship with me. Hey, with Riz. Gets upset when you have boundaries and acts like you're arguing when you tell him facts about the world. Some people see other people's boundaries as a violation of their boundaries. If he's secretive about his life, refuses to talk about his past, or changes his story often, it's a red flag. Transparency and honesty are the cornerstones of a healthy relationship, and without them, trust cannot be built. Sometimes that lack of transparency can come from past trauma or mental health struggles. I'm not saying that it's justified at all, but there are unspoken factors that can play in. I definitely struggle with this, and it can be tough really opening up and building trust when all you've known in the past is that people can take your honesty and use it against you at any time. If he only respects women he's attracted to. Be cautious of excessive jealousy or possessiveness. A little bit of jealousy can be natural, but if he's constantly suspicious or makes you feel guilty for interacting with others, it's unhealthy and controlling.